Alright, so I'm getting a lot of guff from the trolls about what, implying I know nothing about firearms. So let's just get some things straight. First of all, I can't just sit down and give you my resume because I'm trying to protect my location, my identity, and make it harder for Antifa to trace me and find me because they've got it out for me, and I know it. I have many reasons to believe that. They've got it out for a lot of people here in the Pacific Northwest, that this area is a hotbed for Antifa, so I have to be careful. But let me just hit the high points. So are you ready? First of all, I want to say I'm not a combat veteran, but my father was a Marine Corps small arms expert and instructor at Camp Pendleton during the Korean War. My dad, once a Marine, always a Marine. My dad started training me in firearms and how to make a bunk and how to stow my gear and how to take care of my feet and everything associated with being a Marine. I lived in boot camp for 18 years. Now, I'm not as much of an expert as a lot of my listeners and my viewers. You guys are vets. You guys are militia members. You guys live, breathe, eat, and sleep this thing. And I am just a musician. But I'm a musician whose other hobby has been self-defense. And in a future video, I'll tell you what happened to me at the age of 17 and what set me down the path towards becoming as much of an expert in self-defense as I can be. I was one of the founding members of the IDPA clubs in North Central Texas. I competed in state championships. I never went to the nationals because it was expensive. I always did well. I was always, my name was always near the top 10 of any shooting match. And I won a few myself, especially in the backup gun division and in surprise stages, because starting so young with firearms, I have really good reaction time. My instincts are really good. Now, I know a lot about civilian firearms, and I don't know a ton about military firearms. For that, I definitely will defer to the veterans. But I am not unknowledgeable at all about firearms. It's been an obsession of mine. Now, not so much over the last 10 years. I had some other obsessions for a while during my midlife crisis. So, yeah, I'm not stupid about guns, and my viewers know this. Now, I made one mistake in talking about firearms on this channel that I would like to rectify now because it just keeps coming up. And this isn't coming from the trolls on the left who don't know a thing about firearms, and they claim that they do. These numbskulls who think 223 can punch through a steel plate. Get real. These steel plates that are being sold on the market right now are military-grade armor. AR-500 is what they armor vehicles with. It will absolutely stop a 223. There's one load that'll go through AR-500, and for that they've invented a 3+ plate, which now will stop even 30-06 armor-piercing rounds. So you guys that are giving me flack, most of you know nothing. You're just ignorant. Now, the one mistake I did make, and I regret it, and it was really just semantics. I called the SKS rifle, the SKS rifle, I said it was like a cheaper version of an AK. I understand it is not an AK. I understand it is not related at all to the Kalashnikov. I understand that the SKS is a completely different machine. It has a couple of key things in common with the AK-47. They're both chambered for the 7.62x39, and they are both military-grade rifles, and they're both highly reliable. Now, what I should have said was the SKS is a cheap alternative to the AK-47. There, does that make my gun buddies happy? But, if you Soros trolls keep implying that I'm just ignorant and I don't know a thing about guns, you're a numbskull. And, I just gotta say, yeah, you're so stupid.